Should colleges and universities reopen in the fall? The world of higher education is debating that controversial yet critical question. Some believe it's necessary to allow students to return to campus, while others say it is not safe without a vaccine. Fox News correspondent Jackie Ibanez has the story.
Higher education leaders across the country are considering if and how they can reopen in the fall. Some universities and colleges are planning for another remote semester, while others are preparing to welcome students back. But when they do, the experience won't be the same. The University of New England's president says new regulations, such as wearing a mask, will likely be in effect, and the extent of campus life will be contingent on the availability and accuracy of testing.
We'd like to be able, ideally, to have antibody testing and active virus tests. So if the science improves and their availability improves over the coming months, it could be a really useful tool.
University presidents aren't the only ones weighing tough decisions. Some students may choose to delay getting their degrees if they can't return to campus, as remote learning poses its own challenges.
I definitely am struggling with online classes more than I thought I would be. It's just really difficult for me to prioritize school when I just don't seem to be getting as much out of it.
But others might not have the luxury of putting their education on hold. Many students are dependent on scholarship money and could lose that crucial aid if they decide to wait to begin college.
I was thinking of maybe taking a gap year, but I don't know if that's possible with some of the scholarships that I've received.
The prospect of bringing back college life is drawing mixed reactions. Some say higher education will crumble without reopening in the fall, while others argue it's not safe for students to return to campus yet. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.